Hey guys, hope everyone's doing okay out there. This was a debate discussion held on 14 July 2020 between myself and Negative Exponents on 24/7 Flat Earth Discord 2.0 and their new room, The Arena. Shout out to Miggy, Indio, Jose, Mike, Mimas. Here we go. Enjoy.
All right. Since you're there, are you ready for a 1v1 debate with Quantum Eraser?
I mean, it doesn't have to be 1v1. I mean, we can all chat together.
Well, we'll have it this way. That way, it'll give you a fair time to. Nobody else will chime in. We usually lock the arena down to where nobody else can speak, and it's only you and Quantum and one moderator. That's it.
How about Thompson? He's more than welcome to join.
It's up to you, man. You're the one debating, so you want him to join in too?
Yeah. Thompson's more than welcome.
Who?
It was Nathan
Nathan.
Thompson.
So I thought you didn't want to debate me. I thought you wanted to debate Quantum Racer because I was too easy.
I was talking shit. You're more welcome to be here.
Okay, that's fine. Is it all right if I moderate the debate for fallacies from now on? Is that okay with the moderator in the channel?
Yeah, that's cool.
Excellent.
What you do?
Well, yeah, but hang on. Yeah, no, it's Jedi, so it'd be up to Jedi. Jedi's the one.
Jedi, if you want to do it, I trust you, bro. I know you're good. But
basically, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to hold you to cordiality and make sure that all points are heard. So no talking through each other. If anybody else wants to jump in with the pointing out of a point, then that's not a problem. But as long as they make it short and concise, and as long as it is on topic, then I don't have an issue. However, I will mainly focus on the two people that are in the debate. Is that fine and clear for everybody?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Because I don't know the Negative Exponents. We never talked before. Can I test your science acumen?
Sure.
First question. Can natural science be conducted without experiment?
Natural science is done through experiment and observation.
Okay. So that answer is yes?
Yeah, I'd say yes.
So let's make it clear. You're saying that natural science can be conducted without experiment.
Yeah, I'm not going to get trapped into your strict definition of experiment. There's certain sciences that do rely on observation.
I didn't say that there were any that didn't rely on observation, because observation is the first step in the scientific method. So that is more or less non sequitur. You said natural science can be conducted without experiment. Is that correct?
Experiment's part of it.
One more time. Can natural science be conducted without experiment? It's a yes or no.
Yeah, experiment is part of it. Yeah, it's needed.
Oh, so it is needed. So experiment is actually needed to conduct science. Well, that's headway. Do you know the three constituent parts of an experiment?
I'd probably say the independent, dependent, and control variables.
Oh, you guys are learning. You're quick. Okay, fair enough.
Well, that was from when we had to do the science experiments in school. I mean, we all remember doing those.
Sure. So you need independent, dependent, and controlled variables in an experiment. You got that correct. So I mean, you're golden with that. Let's try another one. Is astronomy, cosmology, and astrophysics actual natural sciences?
Yeah, I'd say so because I mean we observe them. I mean, like when Einstein tested his general theory of relativity, it was a experiment. I mean, he predicted the outcome. They went down in South America somewhere, South
Mm-hmm.
Hemisphere, and they witnessed the eclipse. They came back, the Royal Observatory, and gave their findings. So,
Okay.
I mean, I know
So
it's tough I know the big argument, is how do you control, the dependent variable?
that's not my
But
argument. Don't anticipate my argument, please.
okay,
So,
all right,
so you said they conducted it because you said natural science must have experiment. Is that correct?
yeah, I'd say
Okay.
so.
All right. So therefore, they must have a viable hypothesis because an experiment is a hypothesis test, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. You said that they confirmed the general theory of relativity through experiment. Can you post the hypothesis of that experiment in Flat Earth Arena text for us, please? Identify the independent and dependent variables.
If you want to give me a second, yeah.
Yeah,
Keep
no,
talking
yeah,
through
it's no
this.
hurry. Take your time. Yeah, take your time. Yep.
I mean, I know Newton didn't form a hypothesis when he came up with his law.
That's correct. We're not talking about Newton. You
I
moved
know.
to.
I'm moving to my computer. I'm just
Okay.
trying to keep the
Take your time.
conversation
It's no
going.
rush. I'm not rushing you. Take your time.
I have to say, well done, knowing Newton never formed a hypothesis for the fact that gravity is alleged to be a force, and now it's bending space-time, according to the religion. Well done.
Huey, you got any citations that can help me through this a little quicker?
For the hypothesis for general relativity, I don't.
All right.
My question is, I just want a viable scientific hypothesis, probably just a short sentence, two at the most, and identify the independent dependent variable in the experiment. It was done by Arthur Eddington.
Yeah.
Yep.
So very quickly, maybe
Well,
off the top of your head. Sorry, my friend.
well,
Whilst you're looking
what
around,
do you,
maybe off the top of your head, you could isolate the dependent and independent variables in this so-called experiment. If you haven't got it on the top of your head, then we'll wait for your citation. That's fine, but just to keep the conversation moving along.
yeah, I mean, I know time doesn't, you don't consider time dependent variable, do
Yeah,
you?
don't worry about what
Okay,
I consider or what
okay.
I don't.
What
I
about
just
time?
want the
Well,
I just want the hypothesis. It's a simple question.
okay. All right, all
Yeah.
right. I'm
Identify the
jotting out
independent
now.
dependent variable, and I'm not rushing you whatsoever. You can take your time and find it. That's fine.
All right.
Sorry for the lack of conversation. I'm not going to try to poison the well here. That does nothing. We're just waiting for the hypothesis and the independent and dependent variables identified. That's it.
Bravo. I'm live on YouTube. Someone just called you quantum dementia, and I said if he says that again, he's gone forever.
I can take it.
I know you have thick,
suppose.
I know you got thick skin, homie. I just had
I
to throw it
suppose.
out there while we're all waiting for this gentleman to formulate a hypothesis and highlight independent and dependent variables.
I suppose
Yep.
to your friend who's made a comment about quantum eraser, you could just throw in the Discord link and invite him in here.
Yeah, it'd be nice not for me not to be the only one, but it's cool. I'm close. Hold on, let me see. I'm close to it. Hold on. I
He
did see
said,
there's a type of star called a sci-fi variable. Have you heard about that, Quantum?
Yeah, Cepheid variable. Yes.
Can you explain it a little to me while I'm looking
No,
through this?
I won't because it's off topic. I want the hypothesis
Oh,
with.
okay. All
Yep.
right. All right. So the leading theory of stellar energy, the contraction hypothesis, to cause stars' rotation to visibly speed up due to conservation of angular momentum. The observation of side-field variable stars showed this was not happening.
Yeah, that's not a hypothesis for Eddington's experiment.
Well, it comes up in it. I was just going through
And
it.
I'm wondering, and this is just while you're looking, I'm wondering why did Arthur Eddington have to provide an experiment for general relativity? What year was this?
In the 1918, is that what it was?
1990.
Relativity already had to have a valid hypothesis and experiments validating it before Eddington ever walked into the game. That's my question. Because to have a scientific theory, it already has to be validated by experiment. So what did and listen, you could go to Arthur Eddington's experiment. I'm just asking this on the side. Why do we have to wait for Eddington when Albert Einstein should have validated in the first place to make it a scientific theory? Follow?
Yeah, I follow, but he did make the prediction of what they were going to test, and it turned out to be, I mean, that's what they found.
Yeah, but a scientific prediction is a scientific hypothesis. That's the prediction.
So we got a
So,
hypothesis now.
say again?
So now we have a hypothesis.
What's the hypothesis?
You just stated it. That
I didn't state it.
But you just said that was the hypothesis when Einstein made the when he predicted that the eclipse would reveal the star, and they went down, they tested it, and came back, and with the results that's what happened. I think it was
I
caused by
didn't state
gravitational
I didn't
lensing.
state the hypothesis. You said prediction. I stated that a scientific prediction is a scientific hypothesis. I didn't give Eddington's hypothesis. My question
No,
is
it was Einstein's hypothesis, his prediction.
well, what's his hypothesis? We're going around in a circle. I need
I
Einstein's
know.
or Eddington's
Okay.
hypothesis.
I know. It's not as easy as it sounds on the fly.
Yeah, I understand. That's why I've given you time to go ahead and I just had it was
I
just a
know. I
question.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're being a lot more pleasant than I expected. So thank you.
Well, that's who I am. That's what I do. I'm always pleasant. Ah. The moderator gave me direction to behave so everyone can understand the argument. I think that's a reasonable request, And so I am complying. I am acquiescing to his request.
Like cooking a Thanksgiving turkey.
And the chair graciously accepts your compliment.
Is it really cooked until you open the oven?
Oh no, here we go with Schrodinger's turkey. Oh boy.
So, just to be clear, we're still waiting for the hypothesis,
I know you already got
the
it. That's why I
isolation of the
said you can.
dependent. That's right, buddy. Just keeping everybody
can
else
talk
informed, because
amongst
there's people
yourselves.
joining the. That's all right. I'm just letting everybody know that because people are joining the server and getting involved in the conversation, might be wondering why it's going quiet. So just informing them that we are waiting for the hypothesis at the moment, the
honestly,
isolation of the
I'm having
dependent
a
and
tough time.
independent variable.
Yeah, I'm having a tough time trying to find this. I mean, we could take this part up on another night after I've had more
Or
time to
you could
research it.
concede you can't find it.
Yeah,
That's
Nathan,
fine.
I'll concede. I'm having a hard time finding it right now.
All right,
I'll go
that's
with
fine.
that.
That's fine. We can move on from that. That's okay. That was. I mean, you made the claim, but I'm going to give you a mulligan because it's hard to find. I understand it. That's fine. What would we like to move on next?
I honestly have a problem with the way you determine the natural and
Sure.
supernatural.
Okay.
I consider everything that we can see into everything in this reality right now is from the natural world. Everything we can't quantify is part of the supernatural.
Yeah, but that's a fallacy of division.
I'm new to the fallacy of division. Can you
Nathan
explain that one
Thompson.
to me?
Wait a second. Yeah, that was that. Yeah, yeah. But hold on for a second. Nathan Thompson, you said you've been studying fallacies. He just proffered a fallacy of division, and I didn't hear you pipe up. Why was I the first one to pipe up, sir?
Oh, I was asked not to moderate. Jedi was going to do it.
I thought you were
I
going to
did
take the
that-
fallacies, though.
Yeah, that's your game, buddy. I gave you the floor for that.
You're the
Cool.
fallacy
So,
man.
I'm going to jump in. Fallacy of division is an error in logic that occurs when one reasons that something is true for a whole must also be true for all or some of its parts.
Yep. He just invoked it. Because you said everything is natural, therefore everything is natural. That's what you essentially said. And that is
So that would have been circular reasoning, too.
exactly. It's two fallacies. Yes. It's circular and the fallacy of division. Correct. Good job, Matt. I'll tell you what, you're pretty sharp, even though you proffered it.
So when I'm looking into epistemology and, I'm still not coming up with, there's still a difference between the, physical world, which is, even if it's man-made, it's of the physical world.
Yeah, but there is a division. You have the supernatural, the physical and natural, and man made. There are differences there, especially when we're starting to deal with science, because your dependent variable or your natural phenomena observed must be natural. It can't be man made. The reason being is the effect or the dependent variable, that thing you observed in step one, if it is man made, then your independent variable, the cause for that effect, is always what?
Man-made.
It's always man. Exactly. And besides, it's not natural. You got a big problem. That's why I designated them differently.
I know, and I've looked at your website and gone through, how you can you seem to be you seem to be quite confident you can prove that there is a creator.
Yes, sir.
And
I'd like to take a look at, because you brought up the subject, I'd like everyone to take a look at 24/7 Flat Earth Arena text at 11:04 after the hour. And this is from Nielsen, Peter, Natural, Synthetic, and Artificial from NCBI database. It says, as in all scientific communication, precise language is essential for giving and receiving messages correctly. Thus, artificial would generally mean something not found in nature, and synthetic would mean something that is man-made. To make a chemistry analogy, chemically synthesized B12 vitamin would not be considered artificial, as it is chemically and analytically and functionally indistinguishable from naturally isolated B12 vitamin. But it is not natural either, obtained from nature. It is synthetic. End of citation.
I can understand that, but it's of the natural world. It's not.
It's not.
It's not supernatural, though.
No, there's three choices. There's supernatural, physical and natural, and man-made. There's three categories, not two. What is the antonym for
What,
synthetic?
I was just saying, doesn't that violate the law of non-contradiction, though?
Nope. There is no contradiction. I say again,
It's
what
not a
is
dichotomy. It can't be a contradiction.
right? So, what is the antonym for synthetic or man-made?
Yeah, it would be synthetic.
No, what is the antonym for synthetic
Oh,
or
man-made.
man-made? Say again?
The antonym for synthetic, if you pull up the thesaurus, would be man-made. Or
No,
natural.
the antonym.
I'm sorry, natural on that.
Right, exactly. You got it. So there's two categories already when you already stated that there were three and you didn't mention synthetic.
But I still don't. I mean, philosophers have been debating this since since 500 BC with the Socratic method and all that. So, I mean, this isn't a new argument, and we've gone through the various we've had the various scientific methods, and with Karl Popper having his, and everyone then we have the empirical method. There's just not one scientific method. I know you
Yes,
swear
there is.
there
There's only
is.
one.
I know you swear there is. I just don't see it from my reading.
Okay, not a problem. Can you provide a different scientific method, then empirically validate something through that method that supports your claim, please?
I don't know.
What
I've
is
never
another
tried.
scientific method? My position is that there are three indispensable steps of the scientific method. Number one, observe natural phenomena. That gives you your dependent variable. Step number two, hypothesis construction. That is your independent variable and the dependent variable from step one. And number three, experiment, where you take the hypothesis and you add control variables to it. Now, can there be other steps in between? Yes, there are. There's literature reviews. They're mainly administrative steps. But those three steps right there are crucial, indispensable in any method you proffer. Is that agreeable or not?
Well, I mean, you can never completely get rid of all the variables. I mean, we can try to control the variables, but you're never going to get rid of all of them.
That's not my question, sir.
I know. What was your question again?
My
sorry.
question is, can we agree that there when you say different scientific methods, there isn't. There's only one scientific method. Now, people or disciplines add steps, mainly administrative steps. That is, step number 1, observe natural phenomena. Number 2, literature review. Now, I didn't mention that, but it's part of the scientific method. It's common sense. This is just a
Yeah.
logical method, right? So
Yeah.
obviously you're going to conduct literature review, because if you don't, and let's say you're working and you decide to do this experiment, and you don't tell anybody that you didn't do a literature review, and your supervisor finds out that you didn't conduct a literature review and you did the experiment anyway, wasting man hours and time. If he finds out that you didn't conduct a literature review and you weren't conducting a repeatable experiment to something already known because you didn't conduct that literature review, then I forecast that you're going to be picking up cans alongside of the friggin' road in no time. Follow?
Well, yeah. Well, it's a good thing that's not my primary. I don't do. I mean, I'm not in a scientific field.
That's
So,
fine. Sure. I'm just giving you what's going to happen. Can I direct everyone's attention to Flat Earth Arena text at 10 minutes after the hour from Anne-Marie Helmestein, PhD, Biomedical Sciences. The number of steps varies from one description to another, mainly when data and analysis are separated into separate steps, but this is fairly standard list of 6 scientific method, singular, not methods, method steps, which you are expected to know before any science class. That means you're already expected to know it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was going to say there with how you emphasized on the singular there, QE, because that's what I've been trying to do. Because if you don't see a problem with saying the statement, there is more than one scientific method or than a scientific method. You're saying there is more than a singular, so you're contradicting yourself
Yeah.
in
yeah.
that very statement.
I would argue that. I mean, the scientific method is developed over time. I mean, it's about the 1500s is when we started using it. Then the 1700s, it changed a little, and it's been evolving since then. Feynman talked about it, how people were doing pseudoscience, and he had his thoughts on it. Now we're getting into certain quantum theories that don't really classify. They don't really count as theories, but
Oh, yes, they do. Quantum
not
mechanics
all of
is the
them.
most, forgive me, quantum mechanics is the most experimentally validated field in the history of science. There's nothing even close.
I mean, I'm interested in that. I mean, but normally we use the Copenhagen interpretation. Is
No,
that
I'm not
right?
getting into interpretations. Interpretations are for religions. I'm interested that my whole point is you can't have science, natural science. It can't be conducted without experiment. That's my whole point. That's why we went down the hypothesis route, right? Now, you said you had a problem. We're jumping topics between synthetic, natural, and physical, and the supernatural. Only one category can fit inside the scientific method. Listen, it's the dependent variable, the first step of the scientific method. What your naturally phenomena observe. All I'm saying is that has to be natural. It can't be man-made. And I already made this point. That's my whole point. Not that you can't have man-made things in an experiment. No one would ever say that numpty shit. I ain't saying you did. I'm saying that I get straw man to death with that moronic statement. I never said that. Here's what I say. The natural phenomena observed must be natural. That's your dependent variable, the effect. It has to be that way. It can't be man-made because your independent variable every single time would have to be man. Right? Who caused that effect? Well, man did. IndyCar. What caused that? Independent variable? That's man. Pendulum. That's your dependent variable or the effect. What caused the IndyCar? Man. Or the pendulum. I'm sorry. What caused that effect? Man. You see where I'm going? No scientific experiment. It's
I
not
see
a
where you're
natural
going.
phenomenon. That's your big problem. Not yours, but the general yours.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, so you can't use man-made instruments to measure and
Nope.
detect.
Nope. I
Okay,
did
I'm
not.
sorry. I'm
Exactly
sorry.
what I did not say. I said the exact opposite. The natural phenomena observed, that is the effect, has to be natural, not the things you need to do. Every experiment's going to have man-made stuff in it because man's conducting the experiment, right? It's the antithesis of what you just said.
Okay. I
And
mean,
by the way,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
well, thank you for that. Are your heels together? No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, they are.
No, I'm just kidding. How can I put this any more clearly? Most experiments are qualitative. They're not quantitative. They're qualitative. It's either a yes or no. It's black or white. It's a 1 or a 0. Now you can go and measure after that. That's fine. But the hypothesis deals with only cause and effect. That's qualitative. It's either yes or no, 1 or 0, black or white. Understood?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. That yes.
Sure. Yep. Okay. So now we've gotten past, there's some man-made things in an experiment. That's fine. That's not a problem. Just the natural phenomena observed or the dependent variable must be natural.
Yeah,
That's it.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Sure. Yep, makes sense. It's just law. It follows logically. The scientific method is just a logical framework to conduct an experiment. The experimental results don't necessarily have to be logical. The method is logical, not the results. Has nothing to do with it, by the way. What kind of
Okay.
logic would you have for the double slit experiment? There's no logic there. The steps getting there are logical, but the results aren't. That's with anything.
So you not believe, or you don't agree with the double slit experiment, or
No, it's not that I agree or disagree. It's not a subjective topic. That's why the scientific method is empirical. It's objective. Has agree and disagree have nothing to do with science whatsoever. It's either a
okay.
1 or a 0, black or white, yes or no.
Well, I've also heard you say that science makes proofs, but then I also have you on record saying that science doesn't make proof.
Nope, you don't have me on record saying that.
I most certainly do.
Really? Go ahead. Post it.
When you're arguing with JM one night, you guys led him on you guys ripped him a new one for his misunderstanding of the scientific method, and he said he taught the scientific method, and QE changed it with, how are you going to teach the scientific method when you don't know the scientific method? I mean,
I don't know
I
what you're
enjoyed
talking
it.
about. All I'm saying is I never said anything like that. Science proves. That's what they do. That's why they do it. The hypothesis is either proven or invalidated by the null. I would never have said that. You're going to have to quote me or provide video evidence of what I said. I know I never
have
said
the
that.
video evidence. It was when you were toe tagging. It was you guys were well, Dan was listing what he had done, and Nathan said, "No, there are no proofs of flat Earth."
Well, we're getting off topic. I didn't say flat Earth.
Yeah.
I'm talking about science.
Okay. Okay. Are there proofs for flat Earth though?
There is no scientific evidence for a flat Earth because do you know why?
Uh, I mean, not sure. No.
Listen, it's the same reason why there's no evidence or scientific evidence for a spherical Earth, because whether the Earth is a sphere or flat is a what is question. Science doesn't deal with what is questions. Science or the natural science is only conducted with how, why, cause, and effect questions. So neither are science or have
Exactly.
anything to do with it. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I agree 100%. You wouldn't say, but my argument is that proof only exists in math and logic.
Math or logic. So proof only exists in the abstract?
Proof only exists in math and logic.
Math.
We can't prove the Earth's flat. We can't prove it's a globe.
Yes, I can.
You just said
Yeah,
you couldn't
Sorry,
prove.
I've got to interject. What quantum has kindly led you down the path of for the last 20 minutes is science deals with and only with the cause of the effect. Doesn't deal with shapes. Shapes would be observation and measurements. The scientific method is not the tool you would use to figure out the shape of an object. Sorry, guys.
No, that's okay. But he said I couldn't prove it. I can prove it, but it's just not scientific evidence.
Well, it would be scientific evidence. That's what it would be. It would be evidence
No.
to support your claim that the Earth is flat.
No, it wouldn't be, because I'm not asking a how, why question, but I can prove things regardless or notwithstanding the scientific method. Natural laws never go through the scientific method. The second law of thermodynamics is absolutely factual, but never even entered the scientific method.
That's right. Yeah, the scientific method is just. Go ahead.
Hold on.
Go ahead. I don't want to interrupt.
No. I didn't want to. He's correct. I didn't want him to interrupt our discussion here. So you follow that you can prove something without the scientific method is my point.
No, I don't think you can prove anything except in math and logic.
Well, the second, and I'm going to say again, number one, math isn't science. And you're saying you can't prove anything in physical reality, but you can prove abstract math? What does that prove? Just abstract math.
I mean, math makes proof. I mean, yeah, math can make proofs, but it doesn't necessarily. They don't go hand in hand with science necessarily. I mean, there are people who try to mix them up. Yeah, they're making a mistake. I mean,
They're
math.
making like, yeah, it's a category error, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yep, I agree. So you can prove something in mathematics that doesn't mean it has any relation to reality whatsoever.
Yes,
Because math only describes. That's all it's capable of doing is descriptions. Science deals with explanations, but I like to move away from that. I don't want to stay on math all night. I did say I can prove that the Earth is flat. I did say that. So that positive claim coming from me has to be supported by me, correct?
Yes, it would.
Right. So I present to you Black Swan. That is my flat Earth proof.
I'm familiar with the black swan.
You're familiar with it? One second, please.
Get the feeling we're all going to be directed to the 24/7 Flat Earth Arena text any moment now. Make sure everybody's in there.
What are you, diviner of my freaking actions, man?
I've been down this road before, mate. I know where we're going.
I'm just messing with you.
I know you are.
All right. 2 block messages. Good. So you said that it can be proved, things can be proven in logic, right? So I've got logic right here. It's called modus tollens.
Yeah, and I've actually had a couple, one of your favorites, Steve McRae, take a look at this, and he destroyed it pretty much. Well, he took it
Really?
apart.
Really?
Yes.
So did he take apart the modus tollens or the supporting evidence for the modus tollens?
It would be the supporting logic for
Supporting
it.
it. All right. Can you tell me what's wrong with this statement? If P, then Q, not Q, therefore not P. If the Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles, P, any problem with that?
Yeah, that's not the constant radius of Earth. Earth's
Constant
radius
radius.
changes.
Are you saying the radius changes?
Absolutely.
Really? Well, our
Absolutely.
conversation's over because that's non sequitur.
How is it a non sequitur? It changes
Because
from,
because
yeah,
it's the geometry of the Earth. The shape does not change.
I understand what you're saying, but there's an equatorial radius, a polar, or I'm not equatorial, an equatorial circumference, the polar circumference,
I'm not talking
and
about those. I'm talking about the radius of the Earth, sir. It's
well,
3959.
the radius would vary if those numbers vary. I mean, yeah, we
I'm
can agree
sorry.
that
The numbers aren't.
we can agree that
I'm sorry, sir. The
3959 is the
radius. I'm going to have
average.
to call refrigerator. I mean
Yes.
moderator.
Yes. Just one at a time, please, guys. Quantum, make your point and then the rebuttal.
No, it's okay. It's good.
All right. If the Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles, P, then every horizon distance measurement must be no more than 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. That's Q, not Q, because in the black swan photo, the supporting evidence here, the horizon distance is greater than 9.41 miles, therefore not P. The Earth is on sphere. That's it.
But if your first premise is incorrect, therefore
My first
the
premise is not incorrect, though, because the Earth's radius is 3959.
can you show me a citation that there aren't multiple radius
Yeah. Can I show
calculations?
you a citation for multiple rate? No. Can you show one?
Sure. Hold on.
Sure.
It's just so quiet.
He's going to provide the changing radiuses of the Earth.
Dude, I'm so excited right
I'll
now.
go back on mute.
Yeah, just want to very quickly thank everybody for making this debate as cordial as possible by not jumping in and so on. So I really appreciate that, guys. I feel like we need some like elevator music at these times.
Only Chocolate and OJ were here to give us their bars.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So just to be clear, we were waiting for
I'm
the
sorry.
citation.
I'm sorry. I hit
You're fine, buddy.
I hit my computer's Discord talk button. Hold on. I just had.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you.
At the best, you've disproven the radius.
I got
At the
7.
best, I've shown that there's multiple radiuses and that you can't just use one.
Sorry, you
Radius
provided
is a
that.
distance. A radius at its core is just a distance measurement. So the Earth's radius cannot change. Of course, 3959, that's an approximation from Al-Biruni, but you're not going to get that far away from 3959 as the Earth's radius.
Well, I mean, I just showed that. I mean, there are different radiuses. I mean, we agree that the Earth's not a perfect sphere. I mean, we can
No, we
agree on
don't
that.
agree. No, we don't agree with that.
Okay, well, yeah,
Not a
that'd be a
perfect
problem.
sphere at all.
What's that?
I said I agree. It's not a perfect sphere. It's not a sphere at all.
Well, yeah, yeah. Hold off on that. Well, if the Earth's not a sphere, then somebody better call NASA and redact every single one of their CGI.
Am I wrong to say that the one taken at the equator would be the one at the most and the maximum radius?
Not wrong.
Yeah,
So
and
any other
I
one
think
would not matter because that would be the maximum.
That's if we lived on a pear, not a ball.
well, if we lived on a pear like they suggest, it would increase a little as we head south. But all I was trying to do is show that there are different measurements for the radius of Earth. So
But it doesn't change the horizon calculations at all. It doesn't change where the horizon would be.
Well,
Well, I
that's where they
mean,
got that's where they got the radius from in the first place. From the
we get
horizon. I'm sorry, go ahead.
there's an apparent horizon and the geographic horizon, and we don't see the geographic horizon. It's always apparent.
I'm sorry. The geometric horizon is the geographic horizon.
Yes,
It
yes.
is the visible boundary between the Earth and the sky. Yes, you have to see the
Yes.
horizon because that's what the horizon definition is.
But you
All right,
wouldn't agree
hold
that
on.
it's an
Yeah.
apparent based on all the atmospheric implications?
No, all horizons are apparent by definition. So I'd like you to direct your attention to Flat Earth Arena text at 32 minutes after the hour from National Geographic. The local horizon, also called the geometrical horizon, is the visible boundary between the Earth and sky.
Okay.
Now, if you can remember what I stated in my argument, and I should have stressed this, but I didn't, and I should have. The most important part of the argument is the second statement, the Q statement. Every horizon distance measurement must be no more than. That's very important. 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. That's the important part. It can be no more than. Now, it can be closer than that due to many factors. Waves, storms, whether you want to invoke some atmospherics, that's fine. It can be closer, but under no circumstances or conditions can it be further than 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. Just basic geometry.
Okay. Nathan, remember when you used to use the U.S. Coast Guard's sight distance table, and you used to use that in all the debates? I've got it right here, and that doesn't match up with this.
Yeah, I remember that. I also remember when you said I was too easy to debate, that you wanted to debate Quantum Racer, and now you're stopping the debate with
No,
Quantum
I'm just
Racer.
asking. Well, because you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, the geographic range table from the United States Coast Guard lists distances that we could see that would be impossible on a globe if we had a geometric horizon, which is what Quantum Eraser was saying.
So the USGS is wrong or right?
No, the distances they list that we can see at sea level are correct, and they debunk the globe argument. So I wouldn't submit evidence that was wrong. I'd submit evidence that supports my argument. And it does, which is what Quantum Eraser is saying. There's no geometric horizon apparent based on atmospheric conditions, but on a ball, it would be no more than 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. Got it?
Yeah, I'm very well. Yeah, I know how Black Swan works
Okay, so why are you asking me questions?
because I feel that's a valid. Feel like
No,
that's a valid point to bring in.
sorry, it is a bit of an aside. I would like you very much to concentrate on quantum eraser and the black swan. Now we've gotten to the radius of the Earth. You brought up math and logic, so this is a little bit of
Yeah,
math with a little bit of logic. All right,
yeah, and I showed
awesome.
that because the radiuses aren't the same, they're not 3959 everywhere on Earth. Therefore, the entire
No.
syllogism's
Whoa.
incorrect.
Whoa. Everywhere on Earth, there's only one radius value. Now, they're estimates. They range from 3959 to 30 or 3963. Some other ones, but they're not materially different from each other. The radius is simply a distance measurement from the center to the outer edge. That's all they are.
Yeah, no, you're correct. It would be at each location on Earth, there would be one radius.
Another
But
concession. Thank you, negative.
Can I jump in real quick?
So Steve McClown of the Clan McClowns couldn't debunk a soup fucking sandwich. Number one, you're not dealing with my argument. Is the problem? We haven't even got to the bye ball picture yet. The logic is sound. There's no question. It's based on the geometry of the radius. That's it. There's no question here.
Can I jump in real quick?
If it's on point and very short, yes.
yeah, of course, jump in.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, negative exponents. If the Earth was an oblate spheroid with an equatorial bulge, you concede that the max radius would be at the equator, right?
Well, they say it gets a little wider below the equator, but I mean,
Sure.
yeah,
Okay.
I pretty much concede, yeah, at the equator.
Okay. So what would the radius be there?
Let me see. The equatorial radius is 3,963 miles.
Okay. So let's add the 4 miles to the modus tollens and say if the Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3963 miles, then every horizon distance measurement must be no more than still 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. Okay? So
Yeah.
since that's not the case, not P and then not Q, it doesn't change, like I said, it doesn't change the calculation for, it's a negligible difference. You're splitting hairs here.
I was just showing that the.
I know, it's a red herring. So can we move
No, it's
past
not
it?
a red herring. I was showing that the premise that if P and P is
That's why
incorrect
QE's
value.
thing says no more than
That's why it says that. Because it can be less than.
Yeah, that decimal will change probably somewhere way in the like one. I forgot the 1 2 2 4 9 5 something. I forgot what it was, but it probably changed to like 0.1, 0.0001. Yeah, it's a negligible difference. He's splitting hairs because we could have had it say 3963 miles because that's the maximum distance that they tow, but then we'd be constantly changing it when they constantly change the radius.
Hey, let's get back on track. Quantum racer and negative exponents.
Go ahead, Kiwi.
Yeah, well, my argument stands. Like I said, Stephen McClown couldn't debunk a soup sandwich. The logic stands, even if it's 3963. No difference.
So there was no refraction amount, nothing would change this.
Okay, refraction. No, because we're talking about the geometric radius. So
I know
refraction
that.
has nothing. Hold on, I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay.
Refraction has nothing to do with it. So if we can go to now, you can invoke refraction with the actual black swan photo. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But let's go to the black swan photo, right? Where you have the observer height is at 1 foot. The max distance to the geometric horizon on a sphere would be 1.22 miles. As we can see in the black swan photo, the horizon is beyond 9.41 miles. We'll say 10. That keep it fair. It's much further than that, but that's okay. I'll just go with 10. Do we agree that the horizon is behind the second platform?
Take a look here. Hold on.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Let me take a look. I thought it was down at the bottom. It looks like it's up a little bit. Hold on.
Okay.
See, there looks like a lot of distortion there. I mean,
I'm not talking about the platforms. I
not
said
seeing
the
geometric
distant, the horizon. Is the horizon behind the second platform? Yes or no?
Yeah, there's an apparent horizon behind this second platform. Yeah.
Yeah, the apparent horizon is the geometric horizon. We already went over that.
Oh, the geometric and both know that.
The horizon is apparent by definition. The geometric horizon is apparent based on a couple conditions. Number one, the sky never meets the earth or the sea. And number two, it varies based on the observer's height. So it is apparent by definition. So my question still stands. Is the horizon behind the second platform?
But so we both agree it's an apparent horizon, but it says at the bottom max distance geometric horizon. That's not right.
That's right. Yeah, that's correct. It's based on geometry. The max distance.
And I did the math, and based on the calculation, that would be that would be what it was, the 1.22 times the square root of the observer. Yeah.
Correct.
And that would be right.
That is right.
To see the geometric horizon. But we don't see the geometric horizon. We see the apparent horizon. You and I just
the apparent horizon. I'm going to say this one more time. I already said it 3 times.
Okay.
The apparent horizon and every single horizon is apparent by definition. So, is the horizon behind the second platform? We're going to say it's 10 miles.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'd say there's a apparent horizon behind the second.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Platform. That's fair enough. Well, the geometric horizon on a sphere with that radius, 3959, 3963, whatever. It's all within they're very close to each other. The horizon in the black swan photo is 10 times further than it should be. Now, it's a lot further than that, but I'm only going with 10 times. That's a problem. You know why?
Why don't you let me tell me?
According to Pythagorean formula, if that horizon is at 10 miles, just 10, then the radius of the Earth is 264,000 miles. So that implodes in the
Get to the
entire
moon on a pogo
heliocentric
stick.
collision. Say again?
You could get to the moon with a pogo stick.
Now, you did invoke refraction. Am I correct?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna get it take account when accounting for atmospheric conditions over water. I'm not great at it like you are. I know there's
No.
5 different types, but
Right. So you're not going to invoke refraction. So the question still stands. Why is the horizon 10 times further than it should be?
I mean, I'm sure it has something to do with refraction, but I can't explain it right now. I'm not a black swan
Okay.
expert.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to be honest
Okay.
with you. I don't want to
No,
say
that's fine. I want you to be honest. Yeah, that's a good position to take. That's fine. We can stop with it right there. That's fine.
sounds good. Is there anything you want me to do as homework and come back and talk to you about?
Well,
Go ahead.
you just said it yourself. I mean, you just told us. You said, "Oh, I'm sure it has something to do with refraction, but I just can't quantify it or whatever." So why don't you go ahead and do the research yourself, buddy, and come back with the answer?
Okay,
We just said.
that's a fair.
Sure.
Fair.
Yeah, and as you look through that, you know there's 5 types of refraction. See if you can find the one that deals with refraction actually affecting the horizon, not just objects on the horizon. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
Hey,
take a look
listen.
at it.
It was a really good discussion. One of the best that we've had in a while here. So, kudos to you, sir.
Yeah, it was nice talking with you too, sir.
Yep. Thank you.
That most definitely
All right.
Can I?
Can I hang,
Cheers,
can I
guys.
hang around
Really,
and listen?
just gonna close that one down. Then if people are stepping away from the debate, I'll call an order to that one, and we can crack on and have a discussion, so people can unmute themselves and get involved. Thank you, Quantum Rose. I really appreciate that, and my friend who I can't see your name because you just got lots of squares on my phone, but I appreciate most full-heartedly your honesty whilst taking part in the debate. Thank you for joining us.